It's Viv
and G.
Welcome to our channel.
So we just finished watching episode 3 of Clare's season of The Bachelorette. And guys, this was a crazy one right off the bat.
Yes.
So as you remember, we started off this episode as last ended, and it was the cocktail hour right before the rose ceremony. Mm-hmm. And there was a huge heated fight with Yusuf and Clare.
Yes, so Yusuf, he was basically talking with the guys. He just was like, I feel disrespected. I'm appalled at the group date with all of the guys in the jock straps. Like, that's classless, whatever. So he goes and finds Clare, pull her aside, and he just, I don't know, it was like a snowball effect. He was like, you know, a couple of things have been bothering me. One, you said, I want the men to be here for me. And it's like, well, I want you to be here for me too, which I totally understood that.
Yes.
I got that. 2, the group date that happened the other night was very classless and immature. How are you gonna have men out in like basically naked? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's super classless. It's just, it's not right. I'm appalled. And then it just, you could tell he kept getting more and more heated. He was like, I'm appalled. I'm ashamed to be here with you right now. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I was just like, yo, I got your point, but now you're being really disrespectful to Clare.
Yeah. So he brought up his daughter, and he didn't see that Clare would be a fit mother for his daughter. Mm-hmm. And I understood the whole aspect of him being uncomfortable by doing something like that on national TV. I get that. But the way he went about it and attacked Clare was not right. He then called her the oldest bachelorette, and that he was basically ashamed to even be associated with her. It got way out of hand, and of course, he kind of left himself / Clare kicked him out, which she should have.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like his biggest thing that he's been talking about since the season started is he has a daughter and he wants to be a role model. And the way he spoke to this woman is like, oh, you want men to talk to your daughter like this? I don't know. It just kind of like, dang, buddy, like I got your point, but you went to the other extreme. It's kind of how I felt.
Definitely.
So he went off yelling at her. She went off to another side crying. And guess who came to the rescue? Dale. And it was actually really cute. Like, he was just like trying to calm her down, hugging her, consoling her. And honestly, like, if that was me, like, I'd want someone, like, one of my man to come and like console me, make me feel better. Like,
yeah, it definitely made her feel a little bit more at peace and calm herself down.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was perfect. And then she had a little conversation with Chris Harrison where, you know, he apologized for that happening, obviously. And then she ended up gushing about Dale again. I know. So we see where things are going, Clare. We
right.
see.
Yep.
So then Clare meets up with all the guys again, and she's still very upset, and the guys are very supportive. Like, we understand, we're glad he's gone, everything. And she apologized to them, but she said, I just need to take a minute, get myself together, and we're actually gonna go right into the rose ceremony with no more cocktail hour. And that stinks for some of the guys that haven't had, you know, to get some more one-on-one time with her, but they were totally understanding of what Clare needed to do in that moment. Mm-hmm. So now we have the rose ceremony, and just to remind you guys, we did have 4 guys with roses from last week, which were Riley, Jason, Chasen, and Blake. So to remind you, we had Yusuf already go home, and then we had 3 other guys go home, leaving Clare now with 18 guys. So the next day, Clare gets a little special guest, Deanna, from season 4 of The Bachelorette, and they have a little girl talk, and Clare just goes right into it, how obsessed she is with Dale. She brings out Dale's pants that were like a gift to her. They're smelling them.
She's gushing over this dude. Mm-hmm. I mean, she's like head over heels already, and this is week 2.
Yeah, so crazy. And Deanna was like, yeah, well, when you know, you know. Everyone always says that, but it's so true. She was like, when I met my husband, I knew right away. And now they're married and have 2 kids together.
Yeah, that was a really nice little girl chat.
Also, something that is definitely going to stir up some drama is Clare jokingly said to Deanna, this may be the shortest season yet, alluding that she already found the guy. Dale is it.
Yep. So now we have the first group date of the week, and the card said we're gonna separate the men from the boys. And there are 8 guys who were selected to go on this group date.
So the day is going on, the guys are like, what's happening? It's getting later and later, and they're like, when is Claire gonna come grab us for his date? They're all excited and ready to go. And it becomes evening, and Claire finally comes in, and she's like, hey guys, sorry, I know you guys have been waiting, but I'm actually gonna cancel the day part of the date, and I'm thinking we can just do an extended cocktail hour instead, just the night part of the date.
Some of the guys were kind of rubbed the wrong way, because it's like, not to say who are you, like we were waiting for you all day, but I wish she kind of give a reasoning on why she was late. Like whether it was the girl time with Deanna, I don't know, I felt like Claire kind of came off like a little careless.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, she said that she really just wanted that quality time with the guys rather than, I guess, it be an event, but I don't think she explained it really well.
She didn't express it like the best way, I feel like.
Yeah. And in all honesty, her little plan didn't work. I mean, it worked for her, but it didn't work for the other guys.
Yeah. So now we're at the beginning of the group date, and all of the guys are around the sofa, and Dale gives a toast and is basically saying like something along the lines like, I want the energy to be peaceful tonight. Like, you know, mad drama yesterday. Let's have a good night. So then he also states like, hey, like I really would like to talk to Claire for 5 minutes. I don't want to be disrespectful. I hope you guys are okay with this. Everyone's like, yeah, that's fine. And then, but before he takes Claire, he's like, I think we should do a group hug. Yeah. And all of the guys got really kind of like, what? Why? And so it's funny because like, I feel like guys are weirder at giving group hugs. Yeah, they like didn't want to. They're like, what the heck is this?
I get the intent that Dale was trying to, you know, rally behind Claire and really make her feel loved. But I mean, let the guys have their own moments, you know? You don't have to be that like savior in that moment.
Yes, yes. So then he takes Claire and they're walking, and then all of a sudden they pass her door to her like suite, her room. And she's like, oh, this is, I forget what she said, but essentially this is my room. Do you want to come? And so she gives him a tour, and she's just so giddy. She's so into Dale. Like, yes, there's no denying it. Then they end up on the bed talking, and literally from one second to another, he's just like on top of her making out. And you could tell that they were making out for a long time. And then, you know, it just, yeah, you could tell there's a lot of chemistry there. And then we head back to the guys, and the guys are like, what the hell, 5 minutes? It's been 45 minutes. Yeah. Like, did they get lost? Like, what's going on? Someone needs to go find Dale.
So finally, Easy was the first guy to be like, listen, I'm gonna go find her. What's going on? This is ridiculous. Because the whole point of this longer cocktail hour was for everyone to get time, like that quality time with her. So he knocks on the door, and I thought it was wicked disrespectful because Claire and Dale were like, like, should I hide? And I don't know if he could hear them, but it was just really strange. And even when Easy came in and he was about to have time with Claire, Dale was like slowly leaving, like, bye. Like,
you can tell, like, they didn't want to leave each other.
No, they didn't.
Like, Claire in that moment was all about Dale. Like, she didn't even care that other, like, unfortunately, she really didn't care about the other guys, which is a little disrespectful. Not a little. It's super disrespectful. Like, we get it, and maybe you should cut the season short. Like, if you just want Dale, then do that. But you're wasting other guys' time who, you know, had to leave work, their families. Like, it's just not cool.
Not cool at all. So then after Easy talked with Claire, we actually see a little snippet of Claire talking to the producers. And she's like, okay, can we just like hurry the rest of this night up? And can I just be like, okay, yeah, thanks for coming, bye, thanks for coming. So messed up. Like, you're so lucky that you get this opportunity, and you're gonna, again, disrespect these other guys just because you have like this huge crush on this guy 2 weeks in. Like, I get the whole aspect of when you know, but how many like relationships at the beginning of a season have gone so well, or we had our favorites that ended up turning into something that we never thought they would be.
Right.
So I just really don't like that she's going all in this quickly and not giving anyone the benefit of the doubt.
So as the night continues, you know, the guys take turns, and you can just tell, like, she's the one cutting these conversations short, you know, like, I forget who it was, you know, a guy was sitting down with Claire, and another guy comes in and he's like, oh, like, actually, can I have a couple more minutes? Like, I felt like we just sat down. And Claire's like, you know, it's actually getting kind of late. Like, she helped it, like, kind of hurry up. And I'm like, come on, Claire. It was really Disrespectful.
And then when Jay had his time with her, there we have Dale walk in on them, and he's like, oh, sorry, like laughing like he didn't know what he just did. And then she's like, no, it's okay, come on in.
Come on in.
Like, what? Claire, like, be more obvious, please. Like, it was so bad. And then Dale and her had more time. And then all the guys were just like, what is going on?
Right.
This isn't okay.
And then, of course, you know, she came back to the sofa and she gave out the group date rose. And no surprise, she gave it to Dale.
And of course, the guys were pissed, but they were like, oh, well, you did what you had to do. I guess you had to get that group date rose.
And he's not helping himself. He's just so giddy. Like, he's also, like, in this, like, cloud with Claire. And I'm just like, come on, Dale. Like, don't piss the other guys off even more than you already, like, have. It's just...
It was rough to watch.
Kinda. Like, a part of me is like, I'm so happy for Claire and Dale. Like, I'm so happy. But then, come on.
It's a little frustrating.
It is very frustrating. So now we have the one-on-one with Zach J, and Claire takes him to the spa, and they got some pedicures, and she gave him a facial.
It was a weird date right off the bat. Definitely some weird energy. She even stated that. She said that Zach's excited, like, energy is now turned into nervous energy. I don't know. I felt like Claire was being kind of fake towards him and not trying to, like, really connect with him. I don't know if that was the edit or what, but she just was not there. Her head was all with Dale.
Yeah, you could tell she was, like, uncomfortable and exactly what you just said, wanted to be with Dale.
So then we see them go to, I think it was outside her hotel room, to the pool. They're having a little fun there. Her dog comes out, and then she's like, okay, I'm actually gonna bring him in right now. Let's get ready for our dinner date. And he's like, okay. And she goes in for a kiss, and they're, like, standing on the stairs. He's at the bottom of the stairs of the pool, and she's at the top. And she goes in for a kiss, and then, I don't know, she, like, stopped, and she was like, oh, sorry. And then he was like, no, and, like, grabs her, like, right on the neck. He was like, no, what? Like, I wanted to kiss you. And she gets, like, triggered by that. And she's like, no, just forget it. Like, I'll see you later. And he was like, what happened? She was like, you pulled away. And he's like, no, I didn't. It was weird. It was very chaotic. We didn't see him pull away. I just don't think he, like, leaned forward. I think he was just, like, waiting for it too quickly.
She went like 90%, and I think she wanted him to lean in a little. And for him, he just stood there. He didn't pull back, but he definitely didn't go in either.
Yeah.
And I think that was an instant turnoff for her. I don't know. She got awkward, pulled away, and the thing though, I felt bad. He, like, you know, was like, no, miscommunication, and kept, like, trying to pull her, and it was like, stop forcing her, don't.
I know. Yeah, so she was very triggered by that and very upset. And then we cut to Zach sitting alone at the table at the night part of the date, and we see Chris Harrison walk in. And he informs Zach that Claire is not coming, and basically that he's getting sent home. And I don't know, I was so gutted in that moment, not only for him because it was just so sad that it was a misunderstanding between the two of them and it just got so rocky so quickly, but also Claire had, like, no respect for him to break up with him herself or to help him understand what went wrong in that moment, and I really didn't like that.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So now we have the second group date of the episode, and the group date card reads, don't take it personally. So this is actually a roast. So we have the guys that are on the group date, those are the ones that are gonna be doing the roasting, and the audience is gonna be the guys that aren't on the group date. Of course, because Claire can't be away from Dale for 2 seconds, so he has to be on the date. So the first person up is Ben. Claire actually really enjoyed what he said. She said he killed it, and he had, you know, humor without being too mean, she said.
Right. Very classy. A very classy toaster.
Roaster.
Roaster. So the rest of the guys were pretty funny. They all had pretty good roasts. But no surprise, they all roasted Dale. I mean, every single one of them took a dig at Dale.
Yeah, which was funny because I felt like usually in a roast, the way it goes is you roast the people that are on stage, but Dale was in the audience. But since he was there, I mean, fair game, right?
And it's fun. What was interesting and pretty obvious was during the whole night, you could tell Claire was laughing, haha, and as the night went on, like, just more and more serious. She's like, okay, and like, can we stop like protecting? Like, she was just very protective of Dale.
Of course, she's in love with him. Bennett was definitely the one that went the hardest on Dale. I thought he was actually pretty funny.
Me too.
He did a mic drop at the end, which I thought was warranted.
So now we're at the night part of the group date, and Claire pulls Bennett, and you know, they're talking, and essentially one of the first things she says or brings up is, what were all those digs about Dale for? Like, what did you mean by this? And what did you mean by that? And, you know, he was starting to answer, and he was like, okay, well, can we we gave enough airtime to Dale. Can we just focus on you and I? And you could tell she kind of was like, no, I want to keep talking about Dale.
Yeah, no, she literally was like, yeah, but what did you mean by that? And it's like, dude, what?
Right.
Stop.
Right. And with the rest of the group date, with every single guy, she asked about Dale. What was that joke about Dale? What was that referencing?
Yeah, she just wanted to know more and more about Dale and what they meant by this and that. It was ridiculous, and all the guys were like, why are we talking about him? So then we cut to the guys, and all of the guys are kind of sharing a little bit of what they're talking about with Claire that night, and they're all basically saying the same thing. It's about Dale, and she's worried about this and that. And it was actually kind of cute because Bennett had very high hopes, because everyone was like, do you think it's just like Dale that she wants? And he's like, no, it's still early in the process. Like, she just has like really like a big crush on him, like whatever he said. I just was like, oh, Bennett, that's so nice, but that's not true.
Right. The other guys were definitely connecting the dots on the fact that she has brought up Dale with every single person at this point.
I think Bennett just wanted that not to be true, and he said, no, like, she's smart, she's mature, like, that's not what's happening. It's just maybe this week is what we're really seeing. It's like, no, it's Dale.
Yeah.
And definitely the worst part of the night was that there was no group date rose given out, which I thought was so disrespectful of the guys' time. They were all gutted to hear that. It really hurt them because they were like, why are we here? You really didn't have even a slightly good conversation with one of us to give us that rose to like make us stay.
Right. Like, none of them were good enough.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on. The actual day part, like the roast, was fun. Like, and all she cares about is Dale.
Yeah. I thought if anyone, she would have gave it to Ben, but nope.
So as the group date kind of closes out and she's walking back to her room, I think she's talking to a producer or someone from behind the scenes, and said something along the lines of like, I don't know why they was it digging at my fiance? Something about my fiance. And I'm like,
Dale's not your fiance. He didn't get down on one knee yet. Like, what? Calm down. Back it up.
Right. And if you already know who you're gonna pick, I don't like. Maybe that's what you should announce at the rose ceremony. So we will find out next week what happens, because clearly her mind's made up.
This has just been quite the crazy.
This is episode 3, week 3. What?
Insane. So at the end of the episode, we get a big surprise that I think we all knew was coming, and we see little Miss Tayshia come out of the water. I am so excited and happy that she will be our new Bachelorette.
Yes. And it seems to me that Clare's season's over next week, and we're gonna start with Tayshia.
I am so excited for next week, but I am so sad that I actually will not be able to watch it live, which means I won't be able to film this recap.
I am really bummed that you're not gonna be here next week. But anyways, we will continue. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week.
Bye. Not including, sorry, I said it wrong.
That's okay. I said it wrong.